I'm here with David Perdomo Meza, who presented this afternoon at the 4th OptaPro Forum. David, thank you for your presentation.
Oh, thank you very much.
Could you give us a little bit of insight into what it was that inspired you to talk about the topic you covered today?
Yeah, I think the topic I chose is it's interesting because I'm not going to say that it's better or nothing. We have some really good presentations, but it's a bit different. And I think it's different from where I come from a bit because I was just a mathematician back in Colombia.
Just a mathematician.
Yeah, okay. A mathematician back in Colombia. Sure. And I just started working on football analytics out of the interest of doing something with football with my background because I've always loved it, but I never, I wasn't on Twitter. I wasn't reading the work that was being done. I hadn't seen the work that was being done previously in the previous forums before I got invited to this one. So it comes from like a really different place. And I guess you could tell that in how I approach things. So I guess that's pretty cool. Yeah,
no, it was a great talk. I think yours probably generated the most debate after the talk. From the Q&A session. Do you have a understanding of why you think that was? Do you think it was was it just because you were using a different methodology, or where do you think that came from?
I think it comes because it's new. So obviously, since everybody here is kind of working off each other, using, reading each other's blogs, and they kind of developed the same sort of idea. So we had a really good talk by Neil talking about expected goals. So that kind of creates a talking about expected goals, how you can incorporate that. And I guess this what I was talking about is a bit, just new and raw. So then people, I guess, are being surprised by this different approach. But especially because not only I'm a mathematician, but I'm not a statistician either. So then I don't specifically do stats. I do more, like that thinking of seeing players as points and spaces. It's different. So I guess that's what makes it kind of stand out in that way.
And do you have any idea in terms of where you'd want to take your research next, or do you want to move to something completely different? Or
I think so. I closed off my presentation by saying that that it's interesting to see that this worked well because it's kind of capturing the sequentiality of events. So then I really want to keep trying that for different things. I want to, instead of doing it for passing networks, maybe you can do networks where you're moving from zones. So then instead of seeing from one player to another, you're moving from a zone in the field to another, and then looking at how sequences can be taken from this huge databases and incorporated. That's the project I'll be working on later this year.
Very cool. I guess then, just generally speaking, what was your opinion of the day itself? You mentioned Neil's talk earlier. Were there any other particular highlights for you?
It's really cool. I don't want to mention one and then leave the others out, but if I will, it's Will Spearman's. I felt was fantastic. His, maybe you could take extra step to make it more applicable, but it's there. The skill to do what he did was great, and at the point that he's in, I think it's just a stone's throw away from really creating great applications to the industry.
Brilliant. David, thank you very much.
Thank you.